just think you can flap your yap. No cap, yo, we looking at the facts and stats. Second city gritty to across the map. Put your cleats on your feet while we run some laps. Buckle up your seat while we have some chats. Who the GOAT on the court, pictures and running backs. Plug in your jacks and you're whipping your phone. Shalom, let's get it on, just a set in the tone.
Welcome everyone to the Setting the Tone podcast. This is Tone right here. I got my guys in the place to be. We got QG, we got Cedric Klein. What's going on, fellas?
What up? What is it?
I appreciate y'all coming in with me today, man. We can go ahead and chop it up real quick on the latest and the greatest in sports and what's the latest and greatest right now, NBA trades and NBA draft. And I'm gonna kick it off with the trades that happened prior to the draft. Uh, the trade that really shook up the league real quick was CP3 to the Warriors for Jordan Poole. How do y'all view that trade, and was that a good trade for the Warriors? Anybody jump in?
Go ahead, Q. It's just crazy because CP3 and Steph been rivals for years. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
But I mean, I think he can. I think it's a move to set up something else. I really don't see how he fits in with what they do. They like to, run pace, unless he's running with the second unit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe be the leader for that second unit, being that they're young and help bring them along. But I mean, ultimately, it was just to get Poole up out of there. I know that's what it was. You feel me? They seemingly are trying to choose Draymond over Poole, trying to entice Draymond back. We'll just have to see if that's the route he takes. But yeah, I see it for what it is. I think it was just to get clear the air because he didn't only have problems with Draymond. Steph wasn't feeling them either. He done jacked like 2 or 3 last minute shots that should have went to Steph. You feel me? Plenty time on the clock to get the ball back to Steph, and he out here trying to be the man. So I posted something in the group we just joined, the girls group, how Steph was looking at Jordan Poole at the end of that last game. You feel me? Like, so yeah, the writing was on the wall. It was time for him to go. So we'll just have to see how CP3 fits in with their scheme. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I feel like CP3 would be outstanding with that second unit with Kuminga and Moody, if he stays around. Because I also see it as, okay, they were getting Jordan Poole up out of there, but also they were getting that contract up out of there as well. They're still on the hook they're still over the cap. From what I saw last. And if it works out, maybe they keep him. But if it doesn't work out, maybe they get rid of him and save some money by that deadline. So I think that it was a pretty good move, considering that it was either going to be Draymond or Poole to get out of there. And Steve Kerr already said that, hey, the ship ain't sailing without Green. So we need Green in order for this thing to actually work. So I think it was a pretty good move. If those guys on the second unit actually work well with him. And I think that'll be a good fit. It keeps him from playing a lot of minutes and keep him from getting injured so much in crunch time.
I see. Hey, go ahead. I'm sorry, QG. Go ahead.
I also add this. I think that CP3 is insurance just in case Draymond doesn't come back, because he can basically be that facilitator that Draymond was. You know what I'm saying? But in the event that Draymond does decide to come back, I can see a D'Angelo Russell type thing happen. I can't help but remember when they got him for that, little half a year before the deadline, he was balling. Then they went ahead and shipped him on out of there, to relieve that salary. And, that owner doesn't mind going into the luxury tax, but at the same time, if you see it's not a good fit, then I can see CP getting moved, like he said, before the deadline as well.
It's weird because just a week and a half ago or something like that, Mike Dunleavy Jr., right? The new GM was like, Poole is here to stay for the next 4 years at least.
Yeah, he said that like 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah.
3-4 days ago. Okay, that wasn't a week ago. Okay. So so it looked like he might have had his hands tied. Like somebody else was like, "Nah, we get rid of this cat."
I heard a story that it wasn't his call. He wanted to keep Jordan Poole, but someone over him was like, "Nah, this guy got to go."
It's weird because he help them win that championship a year ago. He was like
He did.
key to that
He was.
championship.
Yes, he was.
He was a key, but you know what I'm saying, people trying to one of the leaders of the team trying to talk to you, you pushing them away. I mean, granted, he did punch you in the face, but I mean, like we a team. If you don't want to be part of the team and you trying to do, and he just trying to do his own thing, you can see he was out there trying to be Steph 2.0. Like I said, Steph 2.0 last year worked. Steph 2.0 this year failed terribly in the playoffs. Like he had a good regular season, but in the playoffs it was just terrible. Like, and that's why his minutes was cut.
He was terrible in the playoffs, but I don't know if I would have just chopped him down because of a playoff run. Like we just gonna forget just the year before. I mean,
yeah, because now they basically have cut 2 of their youngest. They not only you got rid of Poole, you already got rid of Wiseman. Right. So I would have kept at least one of them. You know what I'm saying? I would.
They basically their draft for the last few years now is like just Kuminga and what's the other cat? I can't think. Moody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They really just gave up on 2 high picks. You know.
Yeah.
And those 2 guys have proven that they can ball.
Right.
They're just not seeing the floor as often as I think they should. Mm-hmm. Does Golden State suffer like we suffer over there in Lakerland with young player development? I don't know, but
I think so.
I think Wiseman went over there to Detroit. He went.
Yeah.
He balled out with those dudes.
Yeah. He got the minutes and they let him play. They wasn't worried about his mistakes. They just let him play.
Mm-hmm. Let him play.
Yeah, I think Kerr is so busy trying to stick with the vets and have the youngest fit into the system. It's like they should have got more burn in the playoffs. Like last year, Kuminga and them. I know Otto Porter was there championship year too.
Yeah,
but they saw, you know what I'm saying, a big part of that. You know, and you kind of put them on the leash this year, and they weren't able to do contribute the way they contributed the previous year. So yeah, that is crazy though. Letting go of 2 of your draft picks that's producing. I mean, and Wiseman can produce. They really didn't give him a chance to produce. They got him out there acting like he loony, setting screens, and you know what I'm saying, he going in and sealing, but ain't nobody getting him to the ball. You can see him getting frustrated. So
you just reminded me of that time he was calling from the ball from Steph. He was calling for the ball from Steph. He was in the post. Steph was up at the top, and I'm like, you can't call for the ball from Steph.
Yeah. But we can't underestimate. I'm sure they they have these end of the year interviews and all that. We can't underestimate that maybe they may have asked for these trades too. Like we can't put that past them. James Wiseman may have asked, like, hey, let me go somewhere where I can develop. I'm really not feeling this system. And Jordan Poole, the same thing. I want a fresh start. I appreciate the time I had here. I appreciate the championship, but I want to go somewhere where I can really be myself, really develop, and be the star. You feel me? Yeah. So it may not have been, they may have had plans to keep him, but he may have had other plans. So
right. I mean, signing him to
may eventually come out, but yeah, we got to look at it from both ways.
Yeah, signing them to that deal, it looked like originally they had plans on keeping him long term.
Exactly.
And then
him and Wiggins, because they signed him and Wiggins last year, right? To big contracts.
I think Wiggins, yeah.
Well, they signed Poole at the beginning of this year. I think did Wiggins get his contract in the offseason?
I think he did.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
So this off season, they signed both of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Wiggins got his money first.
Poole money was supposed to start this coming up season, right?
Yeah. And they went ahead and got it off the books beforehand.
But like said, they're still over the cap. I mean,
yeah, they're still over. They well over. And
they
got to sign Draymond.
Draymond, right?
They got to sign Draymond. So yeah, they're gonna have to produce, and if not, then you're looking at the next year, Clay being out. So Clay might be gone next year if they don't produce something. Yeah. Is keeping Draymond. I know Draymond is a bit catalyst for the team, the way he defends and it's kind of like the heartbeat, set screens, point forward. Yeah. So I get that portion, but you're going to be looking at paying all these guys all this money,
Right.
And
So that
is
leads
it championship or bust? And do you break them up if they don't reach the Western Conference Finals? I
right.
mean, how's that going to work?
That leads into my question. Sometimes do GMs just like hold on to they older vets too long, the ones that got them to the championship, but really ain't those same players anymore? Do they hold on to them a little too long, and they could have got some value for them if they would have just got rid of them, or do they deserve to stay? Ride it out.
Yes and no. I think certain players that have put in their time, who realize that they are no longer what they were and
Mm.
are willing to accept a role to, come off the bench or play a vital role. Hey, I'm a start, but I'm not going to play heavy minutes into the heavy 30s. I might start and get like 25 minutes or whatnot. Or the ones who contribute and then just go flat and don't do anything. They decide to keep them because they're still, a prisoner of that moment
Yeah.
when they won for them. So their heart is with them. So
Right.
it's a 50-50. I think that Pat Riley is a great GM. It seems like he knows
He is.
when to say, "All right, bro, that's it," and when to say, "All right, man, I'm gonna keep you." Somebody like what's cat name that was there all them years?
Udonis
Uh,
Haslam.
Haslam. Okay, you getting
And
Haslam.
before him,
You getting Haslam for the low.
yeah,
He's coming for the low. But if that was, let's just say, somebody like a LeBron James,
yeah,
or the case may be, you got to pay him.
yeah,
But you can keep somebody like Haslam who's a good locker room guy, kind of enforcer,
yeah.
old school wily vet. You only paying him a couple mil. Hey
Right,
man, stick around and be that coach, be that guy. But like a star player that's really not producing, or a former star player that's not producing, it's not really worth the time. You got to learn how to move on.
right. And Roddy's done that a couple times in his career. He did it with Juwan Howard. He let him hang around because he was a locker room guy. He wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the same player anymore. So you're right. It's levels to it. It's levels to it. Like superstar.
It's also them. You got to look at who they're catering to as well. Like sometimes they're not just making their own decisions. They giving input to the star. So for example, when I look at the Warriors, what we're talking about in this situation right now,
Mhm.
them shipping off Poole as opposed to like shipping off a Clay, who we see has regressed on the defensive side and also, kind of lost a few steps on the offensive side as well. You got to look at what Steph wants. I'm sure Steph would prefer to keep a Clay and a Draymond over a Poole. You feel me? That's the core. That's his guys. That's who, I'm saying, the Splash Brothers,
Yeah,
things like that. So I don't. It's not always just cut and dry. Sometimes they do give the input, like Portland is giving the Dame. Like, what do you want to do? Like, are we looking to build around you, or if not, we gonna honor your wishes and send you where you need to go. So just always give that input as far you want to take care of who has gotten you where you need to go. In some cases, when the Warriors is the championship pedigree. Now with these other teams that don't even sniff the championship or anything like that, then yeah, you just holding on to players a little bit too long, things of that nature. You need to go ahead and cut losses, get what you can, while the iron is still hot, because ain't nobody gonna want them after a while.
yeah. And speaking of Dame, we can go ahead and transition to the draft. Um, how do you feel? How do you feel about the draft pick and that fitting with Dame, or is that a sign that we might see Dame going somewhere else?
Well, I think it could go either way. Like I said, I have heard, been seeing, how we can use Scoot Henderson as trade bait, to get a star like a Paul George or a Pascal Siakam or a Zion.
Hmm.
Um, but then again, I also see where they could, we've been doing the small backcourt thing with CJ and Anthony. So I also see where they could pair up. We could re-sign a Jeremy Grant. We could use a Murray. Bring Nurkic back. But I mean, I think something drastic needs to happen. Like we need a shakeup as far whether it's Dame leaving or whether he's staying. We need a premier player to come in and do what they do. So I mean, it'd just be interesting to see which way they decide to go. But yeah, I can see it going either way.
I would like on the outside looking in because I'm not a Blazers fan. However, I'm a big Dame fan, and I feel Scoot Henderson is going to be a generational talent. I feel like he's going to be a all-time great when it's all said and done. He just has that. He has the skills and he has the dog that I seen when I watched him play in the G League.
Yeah.
Oh, this dude do not flinch. He don't care. He ain't scared. He gonna go get it.
He go in amongst the trees and would dunk on you.
Yeah. And I feel like him and Dame together would just be a tandem. And it might not be a championship tandem, but it'll be something to watch. And
Yeah.
maybe they can trade Simons for something that'll fit with them.
Yeah, that's who we've been dangling. Like we was dangling him in the third pick though. So
Okay.
now that we have Scoot, it's just interesting to see, you know, which way we go. But I mean, we stopped taking, like it was announced a few days ago that we stopped taking calls for people who was, you know, entertaining Dame, and Dame actually said he wants to stay. So we'll just have to see how it works out. If we can actually, I'm sure if we do get somebody, it's probably gonna have to be a 3-team trade to make everything work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just, you know, I'll be content either way. You know, if we need to start a rebuild and get him off, go so he can go to a contender and be happy, I'm cool with that. He wants to stay and continue to pursue it with us and, you know, get some new pieces, I'm with that as well. So just have to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
Dame is the most loyal superstar I have ever seen in my lifetime. Besides the guys of old. This dude is willing to stay there and grind it out. He actually wants people to come to Portland, which I commend him for. Do I think he needs to get out of there? Yeah. But this right here may actually work because Scoot isn't a shooter, right? He's not a
he can shoot, but no, he's more of a slasher, playmaker.
He's a mid-range shooter. He's not a 3-point threat.
okay. This could work because he does he play point or is he like a combination guard?
He's a combo guard.
He's combo guard. If he's a pretty good point guard in that combo guard type of role that he has, this could be something that worked. Like Tone said, I don't think it would be championship caliber, but that young man with Dame and Simons with Nurkic, man, you're looking at a pretty solid team. A team that
somebody got to go though. Simons would have to go if we keep them both of them because that's 3 small guards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that if Dame stays with Scoot, it can be something special. Like Tom said, it could be something really special.
Yeah. Especially if we keep Shadon sharp. Like he showed, and then we got Murray from the draft with that 23rd pick. I like the last 2 picks that we did because it was more defensive minded, and that's what we need. We was like 3rd worst in the league in defense last year. So Murray can play the 3 and the 4. That guard we got from France is like 6'7" and a half, long, defensive minded as well.
Yeah, so y'all had a good draft.
We just need another piece, man. We need like a bona fide star, not a bona fide superstar. We got that. But we need another star that can, you know, provide some relief to him and do it. Because I don't know if Jeremy Grant is coming back or not. I don't know if he's a restricted free agent or unrestricted, but that's kind of up in the air.
Diamonds for PG.
I mean, it's cool, but he just can't stay healthy, man. Like, I don't know. I would rather have like a Siakam or a Zion, to be honest with you.
Yeah, true. I just think Simons would be enough for Zion. You're gonna have to give up.
I mean, we would definitely have to. That's what I'm saying. If we go Zion way, then I think Scoot is gone because they had their eye on Scoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So we'll just have to see, you know, how everything plays out. But yeah, if we go to Zion way, I think it wouldn't be Simons. It would be Scoot. Because like you said, he's a generational talent, just like Zion was supposed to be. You feel me? Yeah. I just don't think he really wants to be in the water. Like I said, I've been seeing that for 2-3 years straight. That he's been pulling these antics and shit because he don't want to be there. Then all this drama come out, whether it was coerced or not. It's just not a good look. You feel me? You got all kind of gals in the city paying them money and making sex tapes with them.
And he made some overtures a couple years ago about the Knicks, how he loved New York and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
how you come out publicly saying that? It make people think you're gonna force a trade one day.
Yeah, and it ain't just him, it's his parents. Like, they don't want him down there in New Orleans. They want him, you know what I'm saying, somewhere marquee or somewhere he can pair up with somebody and do something. I mean, CJ and Brandon Ingram, that was a hell of a tandem. Like, they was on top of the West when they was healthy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they sure was. They sure was.
Hey, I got a question for y'all real quick. The Hornets picking second and getting Brandon Miller over Scoot Henderson. I thought Brandon Miller was the right fit, but I thought
Mhm.
Scoot Henderson was the better player. Now, do you think that was a good pick for the Hornets or no?
I think it was a good pick because I was hoping he failed. I was hoping he failed to us. I was hoping he failed to third
That would have
because
been a
that's
good
what we
fit for
needed.
y'all too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but Murray. Once I saw we picked up Murray with that second first round pick, I was like, okay, I see where we going because it's more defensive minded. Miller, I mean, he's good defensively, but he's more offensive minded, looking to get his. You know what I'm saying? And we already got that in Jeremy Grant if he decides to come back. But I do think it was a good fit for the Hornets, you know, because if they get scooped, they already have Terry Rozier, another undersized guard.
Right.
He's already started. So
I'm
I think Brandon Miller was a good fit for what they already have.
Yeah,
and that's where I was going with it too. I think that for what they already had, it was a pretty good fit. Maybe not as good defensively, and they need all the defense that they can get. Is Bridges coming back?
That's what I was saying. Like, especially with Bridges up in the air, like that's the position that he's gonna play. You feel me? That three.
Right. So I think with those things being unknown, that it was a pretty good pick. But it could have went either way because we knew that Wembanyama was going to be number one.
Facts.
2 and 3, they didn't know if it was going to be Scoot or if it was going to be Miller. So whoever got the first one was going to get the next one, and that's just how it felt.
I'm just of the mind of drafting the best player available, which to me would have been Scoot. Even though, like I said previously, Miller was the better fit, but I would have had Scoot, Terry,
and Ball.
Melo, and
I don't know, fam.
We would have figured it out. Terry would have probably had to go, and we would have figured out the LaMelo Scoot combination in the backcourt somehow. Because I gotta have the best player. Because years later, I'm gonna be like, damn, look at that.
We should have got him.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though, fam. Brandon Miller is a talent as well.
No,
like
he is.
He would, if he didn't get in that trouble, he's National Player of the Year in my eyes. Mm-hmm. Like, dude killed it this year. You feel me? He just was up in that murder shit. But yeah,
he had hella accolades for a freshman, man. Golly.
And he went to high school right around the corner from where I live. Like, he went to Cane Ridge High School. That's literally like 5 minutes away from here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I'm glad he putting on for the city, but nah, dude is nice. Like,
no, I agree with you. He's nice.
I was happy either way. Like, whether we got Scoot or whether we got B Miller, you know, I think we was getting somebody good. But like you said, we'll just have to see years on down the line who actually pans out the best. But B Miller got a lot of upside too, for sure.
Right. And with Jordan leaving, I wonder if he made that pick for the next owners or was that his pick? You know what I'm saying? I wonder.
They said that Jordan was the one who was going to pick this, regardless of the new owner. Yeah, if it was finalized or not, Jordan was going to have say-so on this pick.
I think he made the pick, but I wonder if it was his pick or he was listening to them like, hey, do y'all want me to pick for y'all? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all.
I think he did. That's Mike. That's Mike. Mike Butthole. We already know Mike made that pick on his own. He didn't care what they said.
Because, I mean, it's y'all team. It's y'all team once the season start because he only, the season start. Then it's theirs.
You're right.
Mike
don't care. Like, yeah, I'm getting Miller.
Yeah.
I'm letting y'all know I'm getting Miller.
But the thing is, like, B Miller can make it happen with the ball in his hands or off his hands. Like, you feel me? As at that position, I just think that it's a better fit than, you know, Scoot going there, because if you do trade Terry Rozier, who's gonna be your three or four guy? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know they still got PJ Washington, but he's more of like, he's been playing a lot of the fives. He's a 4 or 5. He's not really a 3. So they still needed a 3 either way it go, because I don't know what's up with Miles Bridges. So
I think they're gonna figure it out with him. They're gonna bring him back. I think I've been seeing stuff about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Like, why do he have to take the whole season off though? Like, I don't get that.
I don't know, man. He had some troubles. I don't know.
Yeah, some
I
trouble.
mean, he had that domestic violence, but
Yeah. Hey, Cedric, how you feel about the Lakers draft, man? How do you feel how that went? I thought y'all had a good draft, by the way.
I think the draft was good, but I really wanted those cats, man, to do something with those picks. And I'm now a Tony Reynolds believer. I believe that, hey, man, look, them picks don't mean nothing.
Yeah, you know how I feel about it.
yeah.
When you got a GM, it can go either way.
Yeah, man. The picks don't mean nothing, man. Go, get them picks together and go get somebody we need, bro.
Go get somebody that's already done some shit. You need that shit.
Right, bro. Go ahead, go on, get them picks. I would have took both of those picks. Here go D-Lo. Here goes some money. Give me this dude. I need this dude. I need this dude, bro.
Picks be overrated sometimes, for real.
Yeah, they can be. And the guys we got, NBA is just getting younger and younger. We got some young guys. I would have preferred us to get like a 4-year starter, somebody that's not as young and could come in and kind of don't have to be super duper athletic like an Austin Reeves type of guy that comes in and knows basketball and can kind of work with LeBron because we know he ain't going nowhere. But yeah, if not that, I would have much rather put them picks together and we got a player. Kyrie's still out there. There's a lot of guys that's still out there.
It was that one pick y'all got. He's not a shooter. He's a defender. And I'm like, the Lakers need shooters.
See what I'm saying?
Talking about too, yeah.
Yeah. Now that was the second pick. The first pick, the guy could shoot. But yeah, man, I'm like, what are y'all doing, fam? Like, to me, fans are fanatics, and we always going to be like, hey, man, yeah, but no, But I would have much rather they use them picks to go get somebody proven so that we can win. Yes, we got our asses swept by the eventual champions, but considering the moves that we made, and we only have 3 people on the roster, 3 to 4 people on the roster that's even coming back. We ain't got nobody. We got to re-sign all these guys. So you might as well put some stuff together and go get you somebody that can help, a shooter. Yeah. Go get a shooter, bro. We need a shooter.
A shooter. Y'all need a shooter.
And then we can get the other guys on the low.
And if y'all can re-sign all the major contributors that y'all picked up at the trade deadline, your season's going to look a lot better than it did last year because you won't be playing from the bottom of the hill trying to get to the top. You're going to be in the thick of things for the most of the year.
Right. So
you add a player with those picks, that would have been solid.
That's been amazing. So hopefully they know what they're doing. I was hoping because I was just watching ESPN because I don't have cable. I got the Wi-Fi. I'm working with the thing. I'm like, okay, so it's a little slow. All right. Oh, I see that they traded. They big. I said, oh, what we gonna do? Are we actually picking a player? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Package them picks together.
But the thing is, a lot of players that you can package them together for are unrestricted free agents right now. So if you were to get them, they would have to do like some type of sign and trade like Porzingis just did with the Celtics. So that makes it a little bit more complicated when people are just holding out to see how teams fall before they actually make their decision. That's why Kyrie already said, like, don't listen to none of these people, man. I'm chilling. I'm not in no rush to make no decisions, man. All these, because that's what everything is right now. It's clickbait. Like, I'm not listening to really nothing that's going on. Like I'm following my close sources with my team, but like all these other outside sources that are just making, hey, Dame, he's going here, he's going there. Like, I'm not listening to none of that, man. Like, you just have to see what happens.
I think this is going to happen, or I'm hearing it. Yeah, you ain't saying nothing.
What Tatum said, he said, ain't y'all tired of seeing this per source? Like, either name the source or shut the hell up.
Facts.
Yeah, that's that Tatum.
Hey, but he's going to the Celtics. How do you look at that, man?
Man, I think that was an awesome move for Boston. I think that it sucks that they lost such a locker room guy and a key contributor to their team like Marcus Smart.
I told y'all he was gone, though.
A guy that's going to get on the Stars' ass. Yeah. The Stars are actually going to listen. I think that they're going to miss that.
Fact.
However, they built their team to where they can contend in the East, because I wouldn't suspect Giannis to be injured. I'm expecting Embiid to have another great year, considering how he left the playoffs. And then you never know what's going on with
Miami.
Miami, and so these guys are making moves in order to keep their team in the contention in the East, to actually come out the East every year. So they made some good moves, and they got some first round picks. So them dudes did a hell of a job with that. Originally they were trying to get rid of Brogdon, but they shipped him back. It was like, yo, this dude hurt.
Yeah.
Like, nah, give us
This
somebody
trade,
else.
this trade is a fail. Yeah.
Yeah, give me somebody else, man. So I think it was a good move, although I hate the Celtics. It was a good move.
I know. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Cedric really don't want to talk about this.
I can't stand the fuckers.
But
I can't stand them.
I think that the teams wanted Brogdon and they didn't want to let him go. That's why the trade fell in. I knew all along that Smart was gone. That's why when y'all asked me who I would want to come to Portland if we did a trade with them, I knew Smart would be one of them, because he, like, if you've reached your ceiling with him on the team, you feel me? And they needed a stretch big like that. They needed a Cat or a Porzingis. I just hope that he can stay healthy. He always got health issues, but yeah, man, I think that was a hell of a trade, man.
Hell of a trade, bro.
That was a hell of a trade.
He had one of his best seasons with the Wizards this year. I think he played like 60 plus games, and he put up some numbers with them. So,
because they can still bring Brogdon off the bench at this point, because this is how it's gonna look. Derek White at the 1, JB move back to the 2, Tatum move back to the 3. You can start Horford or Williams at the 4, and then you got Porzingis at the 5. So,
that's a big team. That's a big team.
And they needed that size too, because they
needed that, because Williams was like their biggest guy. You feel me?
Yeah,
so,
yeah. 6'9", yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they needed that, man.
Yeah.
My only thing
we
is
did miss one trade though. I want you to speak on the tone if you want to, but we missed one trade. I thought you was going, when you said the biggest trade,
the biggest. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
started
up. That's that Bradley Beal trade.
Yes. Okay, I did forget about that too. Thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, Bill to the Suns, and the Suns over the cap
tremendously.
No bench and no picks foreseeable in the future. In the foreseeable future.
They didn't have no picks in this draft, did they?
I think they had a pick in this draft. I don't know. That's a good question.
I know they don't have a pick till 2031.
2031. I wasn't sure if they had one in this draft, but I knew they didn't have one to 2031. Right, said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't they do a couple of pick swaps though? Like, I know they gave up a bunch of second rounders, but I think they did pick swaps for their first rounders.
Maybe for this year, but I don't think
maybe for this year. Yeah, I think maybe for this year. I can't really remember, but I know they ain't got no pick now until 2031.
Yeah. And
sheesh. Yeah, they put the LA Rams, the win now.
They are all in, and they are over the cap. They have 4 max contracts on their books. They have to win.
Yeah, the new owner. He about to try to stamp his legacy already.
They have to win, bro. If they don't win, what are you going to do for the next season? Because the reports was Aiden wasn't happy. And he was wanting money. They gave him his money, but hell, he wasn't too much involved. He got towed up. Now we got towed up.
Yeah,
we got towed up by Denver, but he got destroyed. At least AD was out there doing something. That boy got murdered.
They'll be able to trade him halfway through the season or next year. And
I think that's why they got rid of the coach too, though. I think it was either Aiden or the coach go. So it'll be interesting to see if Aiden still stays now, especially with CP3 being gone. Yeah. That was kind of his mentor. But yeah, like him and Williams Monty hadn't been getting along since they was in the finals. You feel me? And that's why he signed that tender with Indiana, but they went ahead and matched it and brought him on back. Like, no, not so fast, my boy.
They said that boy don't really do no film studying, man. They said that boy eat candy and play the video game all night.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And he's soft, man. Like that showed you against Jokic. That boy soft.
Man, he's soft.
Off the charming.
He is not
Boy got
dedicated
tore
at
up.
all to the gang or the team.
Nah,
He
man.
about himself, really.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be interesting to see if they actually keep him. Like I said, you over the cap. That's something that can free up some money, get a few players for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
They're gonna have to do something because when those guys, man, they gotta rest. You gonna have to rest them boys. You're gonna start all four of them. The luckiest nigga in the world right now is Campaign. I don't know if anybody knows.
Yeah.
yeah.
he gotta pull that Pat Bell. The next 5 years belong to me.
That ain't gonna win nothing. He better not say that.
Yeah,
When he said that, Steph was like, "Ain't you like 35?"
Hey, my boy want the Bulls to re-sign him. The Bulls like, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The Bulls are at the cap with the roster that they have, and they don't even have a contending roster. They're at the cap. So they trying to figure
Y'all
out
at the cap without Vucevic?
with Vucevic.
So
So
is he unrestricted or restricted?
he's restricted. So they're thinking
Oh, okay. I got you.
about resigning him. So if they resign him, they're at the cap, and anything else is over the cap. And I was listening to the vice president. I can't pronounce his name. Arturus, whatever. He came from the Nuggets, and he's like, he's trying to get the okay from the owner to go over the cap because he want to get some assets because we're missing Lonzo Ball, and
Tragic.
I was tripping because they didn't have a draft pick, but they figured out how to trade a future pick to get a draft pick in the second round, and they drafted a small forward and not a point guard. I'm like, we need a starting point guard. What the hell you doing? You know what I'm saying? The kid from UCLA that's actually from Chicago, Amari.
The left hand.
Yeah, Amari.
He nice. Bailey.
Amari Bailey? Why didn't you draft him? He was picked a few picks later. Like, why didn't you draft him? We need a point guard. I know y'all ain't trying to hope on Lonzo, man. Come on now. We need a point.
I saw a report today saying they don't think Lonzo is going to come back next year at all.
Yeah,
we was talking about that before the episode started. He was like, bro, like it's crazy how the season is nowhere near starting, but they already projected him out for the season. Like that's crazy.
So crazy.
Jesus Christ, man, what happened to him, man? What did them shoes really mess him up that bad? Messing me up that bad?
He had to have complete cartilage replacement in one of his knees, and they said nobody's ever come back from cartilage replacement ever.
I think that was the start, but yeah, it's just been injury after injury since then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let me take y'all back to the swap that was happening. It was a lot of first round pick swaps. So the Suns got Chris Paul, Wizards received. No, the Suns received Bradley Beal. It was a typo. Suns received Bradley Beal, Isaiah Todd, Jordan Goodwin. The Wizards received Chris Paul,
Landry Shamet.
Cash consideration. 2024 first round pick swap. 2026 first round pick swap. 2028 first round pick swap, and a 2030 first round pick swap, and then all them second round picks 2024, second round 2025, 2026, 2027, 28, and 2030. So yeah, they still got picks for the first. All them seconds is gone though.
Okay. Shit. It's just picks.
Yeah, they just
right. I mean, the Wizards, unless the Wizards do extremely well, them picks gonna be relatively good anyway. You feel me? Even for the swap. So
check this out: the Wizards' backcourt: Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole. That's a good backcourt.
That is a good backcourt because Jones is widely considered to be a starting point guard.
He is a starting point guard for sure,
and he's definitely showed that he has the capability to do so. We all know Jordan Poole is going to go out there and shoot that ball 30 times a game now that he's going to be a starter.
Yeah. And they might be able to sign Kuzma. You know,
they might get Kuzma back. I'm hearing everybody should.
I think the Mavericks want Kuzma, so yeah, we're gonna have to see.
LA has said that they want him back, so yeah, we'll have to see. But
shit,
outside of those guys,
to play with LeBron.
Yeah. I've heard rumors that they're looking at time. That was Jenny boy.
Yeah, facts.
That was Jenny's boy.
And I think Kuzma and LeBron got along. They pretty cool. So it was just a movie.
I mean, he do be throwing. I mean, to a certain extent, because Kuzma the one pushed him.
Oh yeah,
to get on the defense and was making little cryptic comments on Twitter and shit too. So
yes,
that's why I'm saying, like, do you really, like, of course he gonna, make, comments now that he's gone in light of that, but I don't know if he would really go back and play after you really just did me like that. You feel me? Like, I know, but I mean, I think he wanted to leave, to be honest. That's why he was doing all that extra shit.
Yeah, I think he wanted to leave too, but
I mean, it's years later though, so he might want to spend the block.
Yeah. I think that he could potentially be that missing piece that we need if we add him to what we already have. But we're gonna have to give up something.
He's
Hopefully
a solid player, man. He's gonna get you.
Yeah. He gonna get you some buckets. He gonna get you some buckets. He ain't gonna be out there with the D-Lo stuff in the Western Conference Final, but because he could defend a little bit, he gonna get you some buckets. So
he'll grab.
He's not inconsistent like that. D-Lo is, oh my god.
Right. D-Lo won us a game, and then it just was like, I'm gonna sit everything else out, guys. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I got
y'all let me showcase my talents.
Yeah. I'm gonna get y'all this one, but after that, man, it's a long ride, man. It's 1, 2, 3 Cancun, man.
Hey, that kid never reached his potential at all. It's like he showed flashes, and then most of the time he's just there,
He showed flashes, man, like you said, and then he'd be like, "Oh, he's worth that money. He worth that money," and then you'd be like, "What the hell are you doing, bro?"
Yeah.
Bro. That's exactly how it was in Minnesota too. That's why they were getting parted ways. Like, bro, like you'll have a great game, and then you just come and totally disappear off the fucking face of the earth, fam. Like, what are you doing?
You get 25, 6, and 7, and then the next game you like triple single.
Right. 8, 5, and 3.
Right, like what the hell happened to your game, bro? Like
in that Pat Bev podcast, he had the nerve. Wait, what did he say? I can't even think about it right now. But that shit was wild. Saying that their play-in run was just as important as, or just as good as the Nuggets run this year.
Towns.
Oh, that was Towns. I'm mixing D-Lo.
Yeah, that was Towns.
I need to go back and watch that because they was talking. Oh, but didn't he say Cat was the best big or something? What did he say?
He said Cat was the best big in the league right now.
And then Cat said that when he retired, they're gonna say he changed the game. How?
Yeah.
You ain't changed shit. You might be being boy. You know I'm rocking with you, but you ain't changing shit, man. What are you doing?
That boy said, I'm the center that won the 3-point contest.
Only thing you change is shooting threes. Like we know he shot threes in high school, but when he got to UK, Coach Calipari was like, "Bro, you need to get down there in that paint and learn that." You feel me? We're not shooting all them threes. I just wish he would have helped them. I mean, let them do both because that was a championship, man. We was undefeated.
It's Coach Cal. That's the only thing you know. It's Coach Cal. He ain't finna do all that.
Bro, it's his way. Yeah, I know.
But
I mean, you won the 3-point contest. You feel me? You said you needed that, so that you be considered one of the best big shooters. You did that, but I mean, I guess you changed the game being one of the first bigs to win the 3-point contest. But other than that, bro, like I don't.
Last year he said he was gonna go down as the best shooting big ever.
3-point shooting
big. Yeah, that's funny. Like
I love the confidence, but let's be realistic, man.
But like, why do you want to even have that title, the best 3-point shooting big ever? Why not the best big ever? Don't confine yourself to just 3-point shooting big.
Because he know that's so far fetched. But I mean, I guess he went on the limb and said it now. I mean, Pat said it for him, but hell no.
Pat needs to stop co-signing shit like that for real.
Man, people be saying whatever to get these views on their podcast. Let's just keep it honest. You feel me? Like you gotta go off the bin to get the clicks. Be like, what the fuck did he just say? And that's how you get your views up. That's how you go viral. Niggas know what they be doing, man.
Do you guys?
Because I'm all about that marketing and advertising. Trust me, they know what they doing.
Do you guys think that it could actually work with Cat and Gobert in Minnesota?
I think it can if Gobert and Cat play the whole season together, because Gobert is the defensive coverage under the basket,
Mhm.
and he can score under the basket. Now,
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of will it work with Gobert and Cat. I think it's an issue of will it work with Anthony Edwards and Cat. I
right.
mean, Anthony Edwards and Gobert, because he's the one that was complaining about the middle being clogged up and he not being
Clogged up.
five and
Yeah.
shit.
Like
You
you
feel
got
me? So
one
that's the
player
real
under the
question.
basket. How is it clogged? One player. That's not
Yeah,
clogged.
because Cat's gonna come
Because
out.
yeah,
Cat's gonna have to
Cat,
come out from under the paint.
he's the force. So he's roaming. He in the perimeter. Gobert ain't out setting screens. He down there trying to get a rebound. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like he be out there setting screens, freeing some people up so they have room to maneuver. He ain't like he just don't be doing that. Like he does it sometimes, but he doesn't do it consistently enough. I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a
But
big
he's
fan
not.
of Anthony Edwards, but I think he's gonna have to raise his IQ because that ain't shit. You gonna figure that. You got to figure that out.
Right. But I
Okay,
mean,
yeah.
you know how they, like I say, it's a players' league, man. They cater to their stars, so we just have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
But I mean, they invested way too much in Gobert just to get rid of him and cut their losses.
Boy,
So
they invest. God
some
damn.
gonna have to give.
thanks. Hey, how do y'all feel about the Grizz with the Marcus Smart being on a roster and losing Tyus Jones? How do y'all feel about that fit? I feel like the Grizz might have took a step back.
I think they did. And the reason being is because you go out and you get a Marcus Smart, of course, because you just lost Jones.
Yeah.
You're replacing one point guard with another point guard. Marcus Smart can help your team win in the absence of Ja Morant for those games that he will be suspended for. But after that, his value would probably be on that second unit. But is he better than Jones at that second unit? I don't think.
We got to look at this though. You know they just lost Dylan Brooks, so they needed somebody that was gonna come in and bring that defensive energy as well.
True.
You know, so
yeah,
it's you had to give up something. You know what I'm saying? But I do think they gave up too much. Because they gave up like some first round picks too, didn't they? But they have been wanting Smart for like a couple of years. They have been wanting
Celtics loaded.
So they finally got what they wanted. But yeah, like Tyus Jones, he gonna be missed for sure.
That's gonna be a big loss. It's gonna be a big loss, I think. Like Tony said, they might have
look at who they drafted
a little bit behind that one.
Because I don't see Smart being the player to organize the offense like Tyus, facilitate like Tyus. Man, when Tyus stepped on the court, I saw him like they didn't miss a step with the offense. He was putting everybody in the play. He was finding the right passes.
Mm-hmm.
Smart going to help them tremendously on the defensive end. They got the last 2 defensive player of the years on the team now with Smart and JJJ. But as far as initiating the offense, that's where they're gonna miss Tyus at with Smart in there, And I think that's a step back.
Yeah, I mean you got to give a little to get a little. You feel me? Like, because Tyus damn sure ain't the defender that Smart is, and he ain't the leader that Smart is either. So that was the biggest takeaway. The really only leader they had on the team was Steven Adams, and he was out. During the playoffs in the latter part of the season. So now you have another veteran to come in and hone in on all these young players that they got, because they still a young team. You feel me? And they got somebody off the bench that can play. I can't think of his name right now, but they got like
the other guy
6'8" dude that can play, that can run point too.
Okay. And
like I know they had. What is that other guy that got hurt along with Steven Adams? Adams got hurt, then this guy got hurt.
It was a Smart.
Yeah, Brandon Clark.
Yeah. So to me, and he was a pretty good defender and a pretty. He was damn near. I want to say he was kind of dominant in his role that he played in. Offensively as well.
Like, it's Lob City when he's in the game. He gonna go up.
Hell yeah. So I'm saying to me, when you put all that into perspective, Tyus Jones is really going to be missed. I think he's going to be better at the role than Marcus Smart was. Yeah, you get a defender, but you're getting your guys that can defend back too. Maybe not as good on the perimeter, But you getting your guys back that can defend, that's big down there. They're gonna be a force to be reckoned with if they're healthy.
But
sure.
I see another reason why they did it as well, because Desmond Bain is kind of coming into his own, and he's kind of like a combo guard too. He can run that one, like he showed that he can be that playmaker and what they need. So, I mean, we'll just have to see. You feel me? But I mean, I feel like some type of change was needed. They definitely needed a culture change, and that's what Marcus Smart is. Marcus ain't gonna go for no bullshit.
Yeah.
He gonna come to work, give you 150% every day. He may take some dumbass shots, but he ain't taking the amount of dumbass shots that Dylan Brooks was taking. So you feel me? So it's give or take.
He's definitely.
I was going back and forth. I was going back and forth with Matt on this because he said one thing, then changed it to another. He mentioned about him being a better 3-and-D player than Brooks was. Like, of course he is, but they don't play the same position, and the numbers dictate that although Marcus Smart has a better true percentage, a true percentage shooting than Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks averaged more and played with less superstars than Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart should have been wide open for damn near all of his shots, playing with somebody like Brown and Tatum. So that's why I think it's going to be a
shots for them too, man.
In the playoffs,
he do take some ill-advised shots, but he makes some timely threes, man, and makes some timely playmaking too.
I definitely agree. I think Marcus Smart is a great player, but you know, for the swap with the picks and Jones, I don't think it was. I think they took a step back. Yeah. Especially if they come back with them bigs healthy. Shit, I think it's.
I see this like when Ja was out, whether it was suspension or injury, Tyus Jones stepped in and they didn't miss a beat. Now with Ja being out at the beginning of the season, are they going to be able to replicate that with Marcus Smart in the lineup? I don't feel that they can. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
Tyus Jones set everybody up, and he was getting his own. You know, I don't know if Marcus can do that.
But that's the thing, though. I don't think Marcus is going to have to do that. I think Desmond Bain is going to be that initiator until Ja come back. You know what I'm saying? Because he was doing that when they played the Lakers in the first round. You feel me? When Ja Morant went to the bench, it was Desmond Bain, you feel me, taking the reins and bringing the ball up the court. You feel me? They basically were switching. Tyus Jones would do it sometimes, and then other times, you feel me? When you got, like, whenever they was taking the ball out of bounds, it was Jones. But whenever they was getting the rebound and going off to the races, it was really Bain. You feel me? Because he can come up and he can take a long three, or he can come off a screen and go play make or take the three. So I think Desmond Bain is going to be making most of the playmaking. I don't think Smart is going to really have to do that like he did on the Celtics. And he really wasn't doing it on the Celtics either. That's what Derek White was in there for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
what's their projected starting five with those guys back healthy? For right now, you're looking at Smart, Bain.
Without Ja Morant missing?
Yeah, well, Morant risks for these 25 games. So Smart, Bain.
I would say Smart, because I got their roster up right now. So Smart, Bain,
JJ,
of course, Jaren Jackson. Steven Adams.
They missing something.
And it would just depend on who they're going to put at the three. So yeah, we got to see who's gonna play that three spot. But like I said, they got Zaire Williams. Like he's 6'9", but he's like a guard. He's only 185 pounds.
Yeah.
So he didn't really. I think. Yeah, like dude is nice. So he can play the 2 or the 3 too. So they're gonna be decent until Ja come back. But like I said, I do think like Tyus Jones just fit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a little bit of an adjustment period, being that you got somebody new. So it is a little bit of a step back. I can agree with that. But I think it's going to be more of a front court oriented type of deal when they get everybody back, because that's where they're strong at. They got Xavier Tillman. They got Brandon Clark. They got Jaren Jackson. They got Kenny Lofton Jr. You feel me? A lot of people forget about him.
He's going to come into
and then they got Steven Adams coming back. So I think he'll still be okay.
And Marcus Smart, on the upside, Marcus Smart is going to definitely help their locker room.
He's going to help the locker room.
He gonna help the locker room, and he gonna make sure them dudes locked in. That's the pop.
Yeah, all that silly stuff, all that's gone. You feel? That's why they got rid of Dylan. They had to get rid of that clown shit, man, and bring somebody in about his business, or bring his fail and hold you accountable.
If you're gonna be a clown, at least be talented. That's why Ja ain't going nowhere.
Facts.
You know, he did what he did, but he got all the talent in the world. So
Facts.
with Smart coming in and kind of being that locker room glue guy and that veteran presence, I don't want to say father figure, that veteran presence that they need, yeah, them boys should be tougher.
Them boys good. He the Tony Allen of that team. That's what I see.
He fits it.
Hell yeah.
They both went to Oklahoma State, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of that grit and grind. He fits that. You feel me? That grit and grind. You know what I'm saying? Get dirty. He fits that mold, man. So we just gonna have to see how it all gels together, especially once Ja comes back. I think when Ja comes back, they gonna be a team to be reckoned with. You feel me? Like for real, because they got so many options of how they can do their star lineup at that point.
They got to stay healthy because that kind of hurt them in the playoffs. The health.
Yeah.
But I'm
not having that second big hurt them.
I'm gonna miss Dylan Brooks dancing in the hallways though, man. For real, that shit was.
Don't worry, Ja still gonna be doing
wherever he go. Wherever he go, he's taking that with him.
He's taking that with him.
He's taking that with him.
Entertaining.
Yeah, that shit was funny. That shit was funny.
All right, so that's all I have right now. Unless y'all want to add something else. But man, this is a good ass podcast. Just 3 guys, man. We was rolling.
Yeah. Good work.
I think we pretty much covered everything, man.
Yeah, that's what I want to make sure we covered it all. Y'all appreciate y'all. And the Setting the Tone podcast, we set it off again, fellas. All right,
yes, sir.
Y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me and talking that talk. I love talking to y'all, man. That shit's so fun.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Likewise.
Peace out.
In a minute.